Okay, this is my first time going live. I'm gonna try and check on my other computer and see if I show up being live. I don't see myself being live. All right. Well, near as I can tell, I don't get any kind of a notification that I am live. All right. Okay. Okay. All right. So it's my first time using this, so I think I can just minimize this, right? And then we're gonna pick the photograph we're gonna work on right here. Now this is a much older version of Photoshop. I think it might be 20 years old. Not really sure. It's very old, but it works. All right, so this should show, right? Well, I wish it showed up on my other computer. that I was live. Anyways, but it should be showing you my screen, so you should be seeing exactly what I'm seeing right now. So one of the first things we want to do here. All right, so let me in the future when I do these live streams, I'm gonna show you the process of getting to this point where the image is already sharpened. But I had already done these, so uh, so we'll do that next time. But what we're gonna do here is we're gonna remove these watermark that you see, the dots and the where it says UCAM. These photographs I scanned over 10 years ago, and I already went through Photoshop and cleaned up all the dust specks and fixed the color and stuff. So I already did all that. But what I did with this UCAM software is it's an AI sharpening, and most of the time it works really good. Sometimes some pictures, yeah, they don't come out too well. One of the most important things is when you scan images, you want to scan them at a high resolution. So, what we're going to do here is, like I said, remove these watermarks. So we're going to start over here. Well, first thing I'll do is I'll click on fit on screen. That just gets it a little bit bigger. So we're going to zoom in. We're going to start down here. We're going to click on our clone stamp tool. Now, let me state up front, I'm by no means a professional. I'm pretty much what you'd call a hack. Everything I know, I've taught myself. So there's a whole lot that I don't know. So if you're someone who knows how to use Photoshop completely, all of its features, you'd probably be looking at me and be like, what the heck is he doing? So if you have any advice for me, if there's things that you know that I don't know, feel free to leave a comment. I love learning new things, but most things that I do, I I have a goal in mind, and with what I'm doing, it gets me there. So we just took care of that M, partial M. Now we got to take care of these dots here. Now, when we're looking at this, we want to look at, see, like down here, it's very bright. Here, it's a little more silvery. Here, you're getting darker, like grayish. And here, sort of in between. So it's got like a pattern almost, you know. So you kind of want to. Now this is on a Mac in Photoshop. We're using the clone stamp tool to set your starting point. You want to hit the option button. You'll get that little thing there, and you just click. And that's it. So basically, what you've done now is you've now copied this area that you're looking at, the color. See that? So what I want to do now is I just start tapping. And then let's come over here. We'll bring that in a little. Yeah, that's good. Sometimes you think you clicked on the button, but you didn't. In that case, go up here, step backward. Edit, step backward. I didn't like how those looked. Oh, maybe one more. So we're going to come at this from the top instead. Maybe get a little bit of that. So, I'm going to show you something here. Just so that when you're... Let's go scrape something off my screen. It could be easy to be fooled. Your eyes will play tricks on you in thinking like, oh, I've got to do this perfectly, absolutely perfectly. So this is it zoomed in. So let's look at the same area. We're going to go back to the fit on screen. We just did this little speck area here. So if you see a minor imperfection, when you zoom out, no one's gonna notice it, unless you plan on printing the picture like really big. But at 4x6, the standard print. You're not gonna notice it unless you zoom in on the picture. But I mean, if you really want to, shoot, I did it again. If you can get perfection like that, I'd say that's darn near perfection right there. Great. If you get 95%, you're not going to notice the 5%. Now, this depends on some areas that you go that you do in here too. Now you see here, see how this has these lines here? See those lines? When you have something like that, you want to preferably go up and down, or if you're gonna go from the side, sometimes you might have to go from the side. You want to be real careful that you try and line them up. But there are going to be some areas where like especially around the face, noses, around the lips, you're going to have to zoom in farther and make your circle here much finer, much smaller. So you do that by right clicking, and then you can set your size here. You can see I'm already pretty small. So here we'll just click on this. We'll get going here. Now I could see these two little dots right here. Yeah, let's take care of those. Same idea. Now I could go smaller, right, with my circle here, but if you're comfortable with it, and you know how to, not get too close. You see how that's bending in? See that? You got to be careful about how far you go over where there's a line. Now here, we got this angle. So we'll come up from the bottom. And we'll just do our best here. There we go. Okay. Now we got a little speck here that I must have missed. So here I'm gonna go much smaller. Yeah, let's go to that. We'll start up here and take care of this. Here we just want to kind of touch that up. Now we want to attack this. I could probably go a little bit bigger. You can see this is actually like a jack-o'-lantern. Yeah, these are its eyes. So let me come over to here, grab that. All right. All right. Yeah, this looks pretty good now. We got a little speck here too. We'll take care of that. Tiny, but still. Another speck right here. Right, so we're going to take care of this and this. I'm going to get this a little bigger. Actually, didn't want to go quite that big, but come up here. Now, sometimes you got to make a judgment call of what in reality it looked like. Whatever you're doing. But in this case, I'm just gonna solder on. And like I said, because of how far we're zoomed in right now, see, like right here. Mm, all right. So now we're at the top. We can't go any higher. So this software that I use, UCam, which is what did the sharpening, uh, it has a free option. So you can use it free, but if you use it free, you get these watermarks. Um, I could have afforded it. It's not too expensive. But I'm a little iffy about giving sort of lesser known companies my credit card or debit information. So I have not signed up for it. Maybe someday. I'd love it if they gave me free use of it in exchange for me promoting their program or application or whatever you want to call it. And you'll see in my future videos when we do a video, an image right from scratch. You'll see the software works like incredible. Sometimes there's just nothing you can do to fix a particular photograph, and it all depends on what you're starting with. Um, you'll learn to uh, when you look at a photograph, you'll notice a pattern of which ones it's gonna work well on. It's pretty easy to tell uh, once you get used to it. Let's go back to fit on screen. See, now we took care of that whole line that was up here. Now we're gonna do the longest one, the one right in the middle. This is the one that usually gets you to with someone's face. Now, in this case, with this photograph, nothing was lined up with a face. This line was above the faces there. This one goes right in between these two people's. A little bit on his hat, but that's nothing. But yeah, it gets real tricky when you're in the eyes and the nose area. It gets real tricky. Now, one thing I didn't show you. In fact, I actually forgot to do it. But what you should always do now, in this case, for me, it's not true that I didn't do it. What I'm working off right now is a copy. The main copy of this is on my other computer. Should always be working off a copy. So if something goes wrong, you still have your original. Only edit a copy. Okay, so now if you zoom in down here, you should see the dots should oh, there they are. You can see them right here. One there, one there, one there. Now, in some circumstances, you might just be like, I'll just leave those. If you were just doing the image 4x6, if you're just gonna have it, on your computer or whatever, yeah, you might want to. You might want to save the time because for the most part, you probably wouldn't notice that. But I'm gonna get rid of them all. See, if you zoom in, now I zoomed in a little too far there, but that's all right. We can just leave it the way that is. That's fine. So in this case, right now, we are very, very, very zoomed in. Almost pretty much as far as you can go, as you can see by the pixel pattern that you're seeing, like a screen door effect. It's just a whole lot of clicking. Now, you'll see me, I kind of go quick. Not all the time, but most of the time I try and go quick. Well, I don't really think about it, I just do it. When you're starting out, you want to go a little slower, be careful about what you're doing. Just because it's frustrating to have to do the same thing over and over again. So you'll start to make mistakes, and you'll learn from those mistakes, and hopefully you won't have to backtrack. But you'll never eliminate them all. I mean, you've already seen me make a couple where I had to backtrack. Part of it's because I'm older. I'm 53. I have arthritis in my wrists, and in my knuckles. Not as much in my knuckles though. The worst is my right wrist. Uh, yeah, so I developed this. I don't know. I don't know if it's because of being old or what, but I've developed this where like my wrist or my fingers will twitch, and I'll accidentally make a button press. Sometimes if I'm going quick, I won't realize it. This is my first time using this software called OBS. It's also my first time, well, my first real time going live streaming. So now here, we're looking at the O. Excuse me. If anybody comments, I was hoping to have the I don't even know if I'm live right now, but when I'm live, I was hoping to have the live stream up on my other computer, so if there are any comments or anything, I could read them and respond. But uh, I'll give that another try. I'll give it another try. It's good to take a break every now and then because a lot of this will get monotonous, especially if you have a photograph that has a lot of specks and dust and stuff, a lot of imperfections. Uh, Sometimes you'll get tired of just staring at the screen. These lighter areas where it seems you'd think it's easier, and in some ways it is, but sometimes not so much. Okay, we'll zoom out real quick here. See where we're at. Okay, so here we are. So we've taken care of all that now. All of that. All that. So we're working from here on up. The dots are usually the easiest thing to do. Take care of those. It's the letters that, especially when they like I said, when they overlap a face. Right. Let me put in the password for this other computer. Okay. Got some kind of a notification. Oh, look at that, huh? Still nothing. Nothing saying I'm live. Now, it might have something like this computer that I'm on is not that old of a computer, but this version of Photoshop um, only plays nice with older versions of the Mac operating system. So I have this computer set to dual boot, and it's normally on Monterey, I think. I think it's Monterey it's on. But right now we're using El Capitan, which is a much older operating system. I could get away with using High Sierra. Drawback with High Sierra is it's not fully compatible with Photoshop CS5, and when you go to close it, it'll never close properly. It just crashes. It has no problem editing your photographs. It's just it can't shut down properly. And sometimes, like with this little bit that I gotta do here, with this little bit, I want to take care of this stuff up here first. I want to get that out of the way, and you'll see why in a second here. Now these, see this bright parts here? Well, it's supposed to be there. They're the light from the camera. It's a flash reflected off of these tiles, and that's why you see that. You could if you wanted to. If you wanted to, you could sit here and copy these grunt lines and then bring them over here, and you could get rid of all that. But I'll leave them in because they're part of the photograph, and it would take a long time to get rid of all that. Mm, shoot. I wonder. I'm gonna try something here because right now I'm on. At least I think I'm on Ethernet internet. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn on the Wi-Fi because this the network cable is connected to a hub, Thunderbolt hub, and then obviously the hub connects with Thunderbolt to the computer. But this computer's a little the El Capitan. I don't know. It doesn't seem to like the Thunderbolt connection. So, oh, let's see. I got some notifications over here. Let me see if that. So I turned the Wi-Fi on. No, nothing yet. Nothing Okay, let's zoom out on this. Let's zoom out on this. I mean, we're making progress, but let's just see where we're at. So you see how far away that is? We're in this area right here. So I'm gonna try a little harder, but you really don't notice it. Mm. Damn it. That's a little too small. This is the ice cream machine. You can see the sundae and the ice cream cone there. Damn it. Alright. Kind of interesting to think about. I think I tend to think about weird things. But, like when I look at this, I'm like, I wonder who bought those ice cream cones. Somebody did. Who was it? Somebody ate those. Now you see this little teeny dot right here? As much as my OCD says fix it, hmm. Alright, let's fix it. Let's go real small. Okay, that's perfect. here we go. It just sometimes that's just a pain because then you gotta go back and you gotta make your thing bigger again. Sometimes like here, like I can go a little over, and I can fix that when I'm coming in from here, and I just back it in, see how that straightened it out. This, I don't know what that, I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's a hook that's coming from the ceiling. Looks like it might be. All right, we're definitely making some progress here now. So what's good about this is you see in this gives you an idea about what it's like to when you take a photo from scratch that you've scanned in. Like one thing I notice here is you see these lines. It's actually here too. Oh, is that cool? What we got? Now sometimes that could be coming from the ceiling to hang things, but not certainly not this one. Not hanging at an angle like that. I wouldn't necessarily have to do this, but we got a little speck here, and we got a little speck there. I'm going to try and do it without going smaller. Alright, do this last little bit right up here. See where we're at. Okay. Just notice what time it was. It was 4:10. This photograph is from the McDonald's, the old McDonald's in East Braintree. Not East Braintree. Uh, Quincy Ave, Braintree. McDonald's, which is now a Dunkin' Donuts. Now, what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna make my circle bigger. I want to try and get it a little bit bigger than, yeah, maybe about that. Just makes it quicker to take care of these. If you have something like this on a solid background, it's just easier. Just go bigger. You could almost do it just like going right over it, but it's better to avoid the ghost image, the ghost of the circle. If you come in at an angle and go across, uh, you'll pretty much eliminate that. Now that I'm near other things, now I can't. I gotta get smaller. I have this feeling that I'm not live and I'm just talking to myself right now. When I start to get a little frustrated, I like to back out. So that's what we got. That's what we got left. We're almost done. Now, I don't have any music right now playing or anything else playing in the background, just to avoid any copyright strikes. I don't like what I just did there, but if I could fix it with this, I don't leave it like that. I don't know what this was. I guess the best bet would just extend this over. That's the best bet. Now, some people be like, "Oh, you make everything perfect." You can do that if you want to. The thing about doing this, and the thing about saving a copy, the original, and you can always go back. So I could stop right here, and let's say I want to revisit it a year from now. I can just open up the program and I can go through and do whatever I didn't do previously. If I didn't do it as perfect as can be, I can just get right back on it. I have done that sometimes. Well, when I first started doing this, I oh some of the pictures were wow. They need a lot of work, and so I just take it in sections. And so, like my family photo album, I think it took me a year to do, like almost 700 photographs. So, I did two a day. See, like right here, you can see this. Uh, if I wanted to, I could do this. Make you make your circle much bigger like that, and then come in. Go over that. Oh, go over that. In fact, I might leave it big for the rest of this. Anytime you have a flat background like this, the background is just black. You can make a circle big and just blast right through it. A little too small. So I think that's it. Let's take a look. Yeah, and like I said, I already did the color correction and whatever the other thing is. So let's say go to image. So like here, you can just click on auto color. Go into adjustments, click on levels. Obviously, you got all the stuff here, but if you go to levels, you can click on auto. And like I said, I already did that stuff, so I'm just gonna hit cancel. But that's where we're at. That's our picture. The whole watermark is gone, and we fixed a few imperfections I missed the last time. Wondering what that is. Let's zoom in on that. I'm asking myself, does that belong there? I don't think it does, and I don't like the way it looks. It just sticks out. I don't think it. I don't know why there would just be a dot there. Can't think of when I worked there being any kind of button there. There we go. So here we are. Maybe that too. No, I think that belongs there. Little speck here. All right. Tiny little speck there. Let's save it. So close it. Save. Let's save with the highest quality. Oh. I think usually it asks you. Yeah, you gotta move the little slider up to highest quality, but there it just for whatever reason it didn't ask me. I don't know why. All right, so that's that. It's my OBS software. Stop streaming.